So we're back for another weekly collective Q&A. Of course, as per usual, I have a lovely drink, and today I'm having the rose water. This is so pretty. Literally, look at this. They put petals on it, and yeah, super cute, so refreshing as well. I love that. But this is not a mukbang. Okay, so we're going to be getting into what you actually came here for, which is a collective Q&A. Now, on my weird this is what I carry around, okay, with your questions, because I don't have space in my bag for like a full-on notebook and stuff. So, ladies, we're going to be getting into this. When you get your butt in here, hit the thumbs up button for me, and let's get into this. Okay, I absolutely love my lipstick combination. I love it so much. So actually, because I know I'll be asked this, let me just share. I have my denim bag to match my denim top. Yes, I love it. Hey girl. Hi. Right, let me show you my little lipstick combination. So for my liner, I'm using NYX Cold Brew. I always use NYX Cold Brew. It's a very dark brown. Okay, then I also line my lips with this. This is unbranded. I still have no idea what this is. Okay, it has some of this lighter lipstick on. But I line my lips with this on top of my liner. I need to find out what this is, what this brand is. I got it from Superdrug. Then Revolution. This is in the shade Queen Pink. And this is, look at this beautiful packaging. But this is the most beautiful shade of pink. Like, this is what I've been looking for all my life. Literally, I'm so happy with this. I just put, yeah, I just put a bit more on before I came live, but yeah, love this stuff so much. But that's my lipstick combination. I was also, like, I did have a little gloss on top, but I just couldn't be bothered to put that on right now. So yeah. I'm still getting over my little cold, but I'm feeling better now. So let's just get into this so it's not boring when everyone's watching this back. Now, we have questions. So first question, let's go straight for this. What are your thoughts on long-term distance relationships? I think that, I mean, I know people who have actually done them, but they don't really, like, you're going to have problems. You have to come together at some point. So long distance relationships can only work for a certain amount of time. I have had a long distance relationship, well, actually kind of two, really. And at the end of the day, like, it's not full on going to, you have to come together at some point, right? You can only be long distance for a certain amount of time. If you're in a marriage with someone and you're long distance, you know, it could cause insecurities. You don't know what this person is going to be doing when you are, apart. So it can cause lots of problems, I think. I would not personally want to be in a long distance relationship unless, like, if you're in a long distance relationship, it's because you want to have distance with that person, I feel like, some of the time, right? I don't think that we should go into things being like, oh my God, I want to be married, but he lives over there and I live here. I feel like, depending on what you're looking for, you will want to be, like, together in the home and whatever. But if it's just not that serious, then I think it's fine. And long distance is actually probably better. Okay, I'm literally whizzing through these questions. Next question. Can you do a video on wearing higher heels, also gym outfit ideas like hair, makeup, etc.? Okay, so wearing higher heels, to me it's so annoying when like you see girls, they're wearing high heels and they look like Bambi. Their legs are like folding and they don't know how to walk in them, and it just looks like very tacky. I think that if you're going to be a big girl and you're going to wear big girl heels, I think that you need to know how to walk in them, and you can practice around the house. You can practice like near your own house outside and just learn and practice how to like walk in them. I don't think that you should be wearing like super high heels if you cannot walk in them. Okay, I just don't. Like something more modest, even if it's like a 4-inch heel, this is acceptable. It really is. Even if it's three and a half is very small. Okay, it actually is very small. But I still have not 3.5-inch heels. I have some of those that are very, very modest. Some of them are 4 inches. For me, I wouldn't really go past that because it is difficult for me to walk in them, and I'm not looking like an idiot out here. But I see lots of women wearing like 6-inch heels, 100 millimeters or whatever they're wearing, and for me, I mean, it's just whatever, but I don't want to wear those, but some people do. So you just have to practice and know how to wear them before you full on go out. Outfit ideas for the gym. Definitely cute leggings and top sets. That's what I would be wearing if I was a gym girly. That's what I would be wearing. I would also make sure that I go and get like a brand that, like Thriving, I think it's called. They have leggings and like gym wear that accentuate your bottom, get that ass lifted, get it at the back of your shoulders, okay, and just make you look all the way snatched and even better. So that's what I would do. In terms of what to do with your hair, I would either have my hair in a bun, like a low bun, or I would have like a headband wig, and that's what I would do. And makeup, I would probably wearing like a tinted moisturizer or something. I would obviously have my brows done, and I would either have my lips done, or I would be wearing lots of juicy gloss, and that is what I would do for the gym. Okay, let's keep going. Do you ever send the first message on dating apps? No. Would you let's be for real, like let's let them come to us, okay? Let's just let them do that. Some apps you're able to go and view their profile, and then they can see you viewed, and if they like you, then they can come over and they can do the legwork. But I just don't think you should be doing it at all, even when it comes to dating apps. Because then when you get speaking, you don't know, is he just talking to me because he's actually interested, or is it because I made the first move and he thinks that I'm an easy vajayjay to get? Okay, let's just actually call a spade a spade. So I definitely wouldn't be sending any message first. Would you consider giving specific glow up advice to subscribers? Absolutely. I do get these messages and I do get back to the girls. So yes, you can send me like a picture and I will like give you an assessment. You have to have thick skin, okay? You just have to. Because you might not like what I say, but that's my opinion. It's how I feel. And you have to do what you feel like. You can take what I say or not. But everything I'm saying is just what I think. It's just my opinion. Right. Hi, everyone. So, how to deal with women or family who keep saying, don't get a guy who has a career, go for a religious guy. Well, First of all, I am not a religious person at all. So I'm speaking about this from an outsider's perspective, but I don't see why you can't get a religious guy with a career. Okay, so let's start there. I think you can go for a religious man who has a career. You've made everybody happy, and I mean, if you have a religion, you want to raise your children inside that religion, surely you would want a religious man, right? I don't know, probably. And of course, you want somebody with a career. So, surely a religious man with a career. In your experience mixing and mingling at different society events, do you see women of various body sizes and weights looking elegant? Yes, I do. I do see that. How can I be more confident in upscale places at a larger size? I think you have to just like, your clothing needs to fit you at the size you are, like regardless of what size you are, just get things that are tailored for you. And even if you have to get a few pieces custom made or actually like altered and go to like an alterations person and get that done, make sure that your clothing fits your body properly, whatever size you are. Another, you said, how can you be more confident in upscale places at a larger size? Another thing is make sure that your outfit is everything and a bag of chips. Make sure that your nails are done. You have no chips inside. Make sure that your makeup is as flawless as you can possibly get it to be. Make sure you have curled or done or straightened whatever every inch of your hair. So basically everything that you can have looking all the way together looks all the way together. And the only thing about you that may be, I don't know, considered as not, I don't know, the most, I don't know, like the most ideal body, let's just say weight, you have to make it so that that's the only thing about you. Because let's be completely honest, most people aren't the like ideal body weight. Like most people on average are not super, super skinny. And lots of people who are super, super skinny seem to be taking things to make it so. Okay. And it's just not full on natural for everybody. So at least you're healthy, at least you are looking after yourself, at least you're a woman who loves herself and you have things going for you. Okay, so I want you to remember the woman you are, and that as long as you have made sure that you look the best you can look in your outfit, you have done your hair, your makeup, you have the loveliest perfume, you have the loveliest smile, make sure that you basically do the most with everything you can do the most with. Okay, and so that's my advice to you. Don't worry about skinny minis or whatever it is. Just worry about yourself. Okay, just worry about yourself. It makes me think of like Queen Latifah for a second. This is a lady who I don't actually like, I've never watched her in any interviews or whatever, but for some reason I really like Queen Latifah, and she is a woman who has never been skinny, but to me, she's always had like that star quality, like that it girl factor. I can't really put my finger on it, but I have always really had like, I don't know, like a liking to her. And you want to have that kind of aura about you, regardless of your weight. Okay. There's a film that Queen Latifah did, and girl, what is it called? I think it's called Last Holiday, I think. But essentially she feels like it's she gets told by a doctor that she doesn't have long left. Yeah, Queen Latifah, yeah, she's good. She gets told she doesn't have long left to live, and she is just trying to live her best life. Watch that video. I think it would give you encouragement in many ways, that like with styling, being outspoken, being the life and soul of the party, just doing you, living your own life. This video will be inspiring for you, so definitely watch that video. Baby boy, oh wait, baby boy as in with Taraji. that literally lives rent free in my mind, unfortunately. Okay, I wish I never watched that film when I was younger. Like, there are some films that are just so toxic, and literally Baby Boy is one of them. And this is some people's actual life. Yeah. Yeah. So, how to break up with someone who is resistant to letting it happen. He did nothing wrong, but I want marriage and he does not. Um, So, thank you for this question. Well, thank you for all the questions, but I mean, I think this is a grown person. Just sit them down and just say, look, it's not working. Like, don't fight this anymore. These are things that I'm literally not prepared to budge on, and you are not the man I want. Okay, when you put it like that, if he still starts chasing after you, you've got to let him understand what you're doing is ridiculous. Stop chasing after me. Stop running after me. I've broken up with you. It's done. And you have to actually put your foot down, because otherwise, when a lot of the time, men don't take you seriously. Okay, the more girly and you seem, they think that you are not serious. They feel like they know better than you, and they feel like they know what's best for you better than you do. And when you make a decision like breaking up, for instance, they don't feel like you know what you're talking about. Oh, next Friday. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that. um what's it about? But basically, you have to be not nasty, but you need to show him, I'm not playing about with you. Like, seriously, it's done. Okay, and you got to kind of put your foot down, right? And just let him know it's just because we want different things. I'm not prepared to budge on marriage, and you're not serious about it, so I've got to go. I've got to go. And you've just got to put your foot down and let this man literally see that you're not playing. I mean, you never know. What if he actually turned around and he's like, well, I'm not prepared to lose you. Okay, I'm open to marriage. Like, you never know. So let's see what could happen from your conversation. Okay. Next question is, do you think it's important to feel physically attracted to your partner, or is it okay if it comes later? This is the last of the. I have more questions. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. I just took some of them, and yeah, I will go to yours at another Q&A. But I don't think it's important to feel full on attracted. Like, have you ladies watched Love Island recently? Everybody's like banging on about, I need to want to rip my man's clothes off and this, that, and the other. I don't think that is actually healthy. I really don't. I don't think it's healthy for a woman to feel that way about a man. I think that you need to not be like completely obsessed with the way he looks. So being attracted to, for me, it means that not that you need to want to rip his clothes off, but I think you should be attracted to aspects of him, whether it's how intelligent he is, or how much of a gentleman he is, or whether it's how romantic he is, or like, for me, I literally have a hand fetish. There are certain hands that I really like. Okay, don't judge me. I have a thing. So there are certain men with certain hands. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never gonna date them, because it like gives me the full on ick. So if you like, if there's something that like that, it full on gives you an ick. Yes, you have to be attracted to that. Oral hygiene is another one. Don't come over to me with any halitosis, okay? Don't come over to me with slimy teeth, because no, it's not going to happen. So, or at least you can kind of talk them through oral hygiene or get them booked in somewhere, so that can be rectified. But full on, like, oh my god, like looking at him like, oh wow, every time he comes into a room you're like gulping and dribbling. No. I think that that is a disaster waiting to happen. I think that it's for the masculine, like the man, to kind of feel all over you, like he wants to be all over you like a rash. I think it's for a man to feel like, oh my god, she is just everything. Like, she's so sexy, so beautiful, so pretty inside out. That's for him to feel, because they are more physically and sexually charged. But it's for us to feel feel safe, okay? And when, let's be completely honest, when you're dating a man who's very attractive, you can't feel safe. You cannot feel safe, because every time he's out, what's going on? Everybody wants to feel safe by him. So you can't actually feel safe. You cannot relax. It's a stressful situation, and it's just not worth the headache. And I think it's better to not full on be like overly attracted to your man, girl. Yeah, so no, I do not think it's important for a woman to be physically attracted. Hi, Sonia. I really, really don't. What? I wouldn't hesitate to take care of you. Ziva, you wouldn't have to do anything. I got you. Right? So why are you not dropping money into my my donation basket? Put your money where your mouth is, sir. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, for me, physical attraction is not, it's not up there. It's not up there. It used to be. Like, I remember, this was years ago, I had written a list out of like the things that I would want in someone. About 50% of those things were physicalities. I know, literally 50%. And the rest was about personality. But I wish I still had that list so I could actually read it out and we could laugh about it. But I remember one of the things on there specific, no, two of the things. I've always liked more serious men. I hate like the Joker, always laughing and making jokes every 5 seconds. I've always liked more serious. So that was one of the things on the list. The other thing, the other thing was I wanted someone with I think it was about shoulders or back. I can't remember. I specifically remember that. And guess what? It came in, and this person was just my worst nightmare. But anyway, so. Okay, also somebody asked me how to politely ask a girlfriend for an allowance. This was a woman asking, so I'm assuming she's dating masculine men. Masculine women, sorry. Now, I thought, like, I know same-sex, like couples who are being provided for by, like, the masculine party, okay? But this is only in men that I know, and I don't know of it in women. Of course it happens. I will be honest, for me, I've never done that. You know, when I've kind of like dated women, I've just dated them and it hasn't been about like anything else. But if, like, let's say today I were to date a woman and that's something I wanted, you've got to think, as a woman yourself, she's going to have to be older. She's going to have to want to do it, and she's going to have to have an emotional connection to you. And like, because men do it to women all the time. Men do it to women all the time. I do not promote doing it to, like, getting a woman to take care of you, but at the same time, if I were in the position where I wanted to marry a woman and get married to one, that's what I would want. So I think you have to go for someone where I think a woman would be prepared to do that if she fully felt like you are really the person she wants to be with. She has got that masculine energy and she has her life sorted and she wants to take care of you. It's the same way for like a man who wants to do it, you know? It's literally identical. So the only thing that would be different is that a woman is probably looking for more of an emotional connection with you as well, whereas men are more so initially just trying to see what they can get. Okay, so that's what I would say. Okay. So yeah, that's definitely what I would say. But I mean, that isn't what I don't really speak about that aspect of my channel. Like I said, I'm going off of a theory, but I haven't done that. Okay? So I wouldn't, you know, it's autonomy at the end of the day. It's autonomy, and if a woman wants to do that for you, she will. Okay? It's the same way that when a man wants to do it for you, he will. Okay? It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, so they are my questions. There was something I wanted to go back to. Oh yeah, so that's it. Do you ever send a first message on dating apps? So the thing that I wanted to go back to was that sometimes there's an option to not just view a profile and for them to see it, but for you to actually like send like a favorite. Like, you can favorite their profile and it makes them think, okay, she likes me but she's busy and she's gonna come back to me so she doesn't forget or something. So you could always do that if there's that option on your dating app, and it's for them to see, okay, she's favorited it so she likes me, and maybe think that he has even more chance, or you know that he knows that you're interested basically, and he can come in and make that move then as well. But that was a thought I wanted to put out. But I wouldn't fully suggest basically going on to a website, like onto a dating app, and basically pursuing matches. I feel like matches should be pursuing you, and then it's for you to just swipe to match, not to actually try to be initiating conversations. This is so good. I can really taste the rose. This is literally so nice. Girl, you are literally you are spamming me right now. It is relaxing and it is nice. Just, I like to come here when I do my lives. I have to be honest. I just think it's so nice. First of all, it's nice to have a change of scenery for everybody. And also, I think it's nice to just, yeah, be out and about. One of my guys always disappears. Wow. So he's like a perpetual ghoster. One thing on a date I would do is always make sure I pay for you and okay. That's like standard. I cannot imagine going on a date with somebody and they sit looking at me cockeyed when the waiter comes with the machine card. I cannot even imagine. I think I would throw up with embarrassment. Just literally. What do you think? What do you think of reaching out for wait. What do you think of reaching out first? He likes being chased but gives me money. Oh god, men like that are bloody irritating, I'll be honest. Um I think there's something in the water. I think there is there are women's hormones in the water. Okay, I'm telling you. Because these men are getting further and further and further and further and further and further away from what they're supposed to be and getting closer and closer and closer to what they're not supposed to be. And I am. Can you not tell I'm fed up? Okay, so why does he like to be chased? Like, what is this? It's very draining, and I have had one like this. They want to be chased, but they give you money. I feel like his personality type is literally a control freak, and I think that if he's giving you the money and you literally send him, don't start sending him morning messages. Don't do that. But start doing small things like, let's say you're out, you're having like this, like a nice little drink or something. Take a picture and just send it, okay? And kind of like keep him in the loop with things, but don't start doing his job and being a man and chasing him. Because he thinks he wants you to chase him, but when you actually start doing it, he will be turned off, he will be bored, and he won't be helping you out financially anymore. Good girl. Just keep doing it. He wants me to always initiate. Don't do it. When you do, he gives you money. Okay. Then start initiating by asking for something you want. Start initiating, saying, hello, I really want to get this today, or I really want to do that, but it costs this much. He won't want you to initiate anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, Melissa, if he's giving you money, then at least he's not being completely pathetic and just like being completely needy. At least he's giving you something back, and at least he's got that part right. I feel like he's married and he's bored in his life and he needs attention from women, emotional attention and whatnot. Lots of married men do this kind of thing. Amna, what do you think of drink dates? My tolerance for men has reduced. Mood. So I sometimes cannot be bothered to sit with a stranger who I may not like for a few hours over dinner. Right. Um, I mean, that's not my vibe because for me, I am I can get on with probably anybody. And yeah, I can always like find a way to have a nice time, even if it's just enjoying the food and speaking about very surface level things. Um, but if you really feel like it is such a jar, such a yawn to do that, and you actually want a drink date, remember this: you can't drink a lot of alcohol because you're not meeting up with a stranger drinking more than 2 drinks. So I would suggest that you go to like a nice bar, that maybe even go to like a tapas bar, and then you can have like small bites plus drinks. I think that could be good, or like a tapas, a tapas place. Amna, I don't know if you're in London, but if you are, obviously go to a nice hotel bar and you can order some nice bar snacks as well, plus have your drinks. So the point is that you're not starting off with like super, 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 super cheap dates. I think it's better to go in there and make him. You see what someone is made of. You see, like, the more he has to pay, you see that okay, he actually he can do it, first of all, because if you're at a point where you're trying to take people seriously to see if they're ready for marriage and things, if he cannot even afford a proper date, he definitely cannot afford a wife. So you're essentially testing them and stuff. But I would I would make sure that I include so I would have drinks, maybe even order a nice bottle, you know, and get the date, price increased that way. And of course, buy bar snacks. Absolutely, a couple of like small dishes or something. Also, you could go to a place that has a restaurant as well. So you could meet at the bar. So say like you are in London, you go to the Ned, let's say. It's just an easy option for me to say. The Ned has a few bars in there. It also has a few restaurants. So you could go to the Ned, meet at the bar, have a couple of drinks, and if you're hungry, you want to spend time with him, you could go to a restaurant that's also inside. So that's something you can do. I remember the last time I agreed to a drinks date, I agreed to it knowing that I wasn't going there just for drinks, because I can't really just drink because I'm going to get very silly, right? So and like giggly and just really stupid. So I don't just drink. I need to obviously eat as well. And I went to this date agreeing to just have drinks, but it wasn't the Ned. We went to the bar. I had one drink. I finished it and I said, you know what? No, I had two. I had 2 drinks. I finished them. And I said, right, I need to go now because I'm really hungry and I can't drink on an empty stomach. So I'm going to have to go. And I just, like, we were literally mid-conversation. I was like, I need to go because I need to eat something. And he said, well, do you want to go to one of the restaurants in here? I said, sure. And that was how we had dinner. But I knew that I was eating that night with him. So, and that was what I was going to do. And that is what I did. And I got my dinner. I never saw him again because at that time I was just, I was just so over certain things. And he was like, I found out he was married, and you know what they're like. The married men are out here like they are single. Okay, Melissa, just be careful because you're pulling back your energy, but you don't want him pulling back your money. I believe women are the prize, but some people don't think that. Yeah. How is life treating you? All good, honey. All good. Oh, I really appreciate you, Dee. Thank you for sticking with me for years. Yes. Avoid in person odd people by having an initial call first if you meet online. You know what, Futa? I don't want any phone call with anybody. I'm actually a weird person myself in the sense of I don't want to be on the phone like that with someone I don't know. Then they want to have an hour long conversation with you and you're like, just, it's so jarring. This is actually me. If I meet online, I want to meet like almost instantly because I prefer in person. I prefer in person, and I want to get offline as soon as possible. And I'm up for meeting as soon as they're like asking me out for dinner or something. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. That would be great. And because, and when they do suggest to have like a phone call or not, most of them actually don't, but when they have done or they want to like talk for 1,000 years, I will definitely say, look, I'm not into like talking for 1,000 years. It's not romantic, and it's giving like pen pal. And I think that it's better to just meet in person and see if there's a connection because you just can't tell even by the phone. I'm one of those odd people that prefers in-person interaction. I'm actually so over this bag, but I just like the fact that it's denim. And I'm trying to be giving like denim on denim. This is like my throw around bag. Yeah, this looks much better with gloss on top. Ladies, my skin is actually oh my god, it's disgusting right now. I'm having such a hard time with it. As you can see, I've got like breakouts. My skin just looks, look at this. I'm really going through it right now. I'm having a very hard time with my skin and I just cannot get it to like stop doing this. I think it's because I'm using way too much coconut oil because I use coconut oil, but I think I'm just using it way too much. Way too much. Like I'm actually obsessed with using coconut oil, so it's probably just, I don't know, too much. Especially with the heat, maybe, I don't know. Beautiful lips, I love them. I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice and I want you to just like take this with you, that sometimes like you have to read a room sometimes, and when you are constantly like saying things to someone and they're not giving you the same energy back, then they're not interested. And like certain things like beautiful lips, I love them. Like what are all of like the other things you said? Like sometimes you just have to like chill out and not do that. You just have to read the room. And I know that you're really sweet and you comment on all of my stuff and whatever, but sometimes you have to read a room and stop giving what you're not getting back. Okay, that's just some advice for men who cannot read the room. So, okay, in the nicest way possible. And yes, they are beautiful. Thank you. Hi, Z. Hi. Not me saying Z. I mean Z. I'm not American, okay? Now, girl, the married men, I'm so traumatized traumatized after accidentally dating one once. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've all, I'm not traumatized by it. Like, I have done it and I've done it knowingly. But I feel like they are only there to waste your time. Because they don't want to come out of their marriage for one reason or another. And probably about 95% of the time they're not ever going to leave the woman who they're with, and at the same time you don't even really want them to, because they might have a family, and like, who wants to really do that when you can just find someone who isn't married and actually be with them? But to just date them, yes, I've done that, and they're out here. They are out here. Okay, whether you know it or not, you have dated a married man. Okay, and if he's not been married, he's had a girlfriend. If he hasn't had a girlfriend, he's had a fiance. If you didn't know, now you know. They are out here. They are among us. But married men are sometimes like the most generous, to be honest. They usually have a wife who's like working non-stop. She doesn't have any time for them anymore. They go to bed in separate rooms and they're lonely and whatever. So that could be the case. I don't know. Some married men are just unhappy and their woman isn't really who they want now, but there's so much financial complication that comes with ending a marriage, and they just want to meet someone that way. Some of them just want to have their cake and eat it. So many reasons why they're out here, but they are. They are. Oh, you got lucky. I never knew he was still married and his wife tried to... Wait, what's docs? Me online and called at my workplace, calling me an escort. Girl, I could never, like, imagine being that wife. Do you know how I think that is just like a very stupid response to have. Why are you calling a woman? And if she really thought you were an escort, she would not be calling you. Okay, she's just trying to make you feel like he said that to make you upset so that you stop seeing him. She thinks she's smart. You know what annoys me? Because I know that there is like lots of men cheat and all of that. But the thing for me is embarrassment. And if you have a man who actually cheats on you and you don't know it, then you don't know. But if he is so sloppy and so dumb and idiotic that you find out, that just makes it 10 times worse. And it's the embarrassment factor that just does not sit right with me. Like, it's embarrassing, really embarrassing. Yes, do you prefer younger or older guys? I like your questions now. I prefer older, definitely. Young guys are way too into their eyebrows, how big their muscles are, and how attractive they are, and doing TikToks. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I know you're younger. Um, he is very easy actually, but I don't want him getting bored. He used to chase me in the beginning, but wasn't giving me as much money than he is now. Just keep up doing what he wants you to do. Go through like waves of like being more interested, dips, waves, less, more. Keep him on his tootsies. If you met in person intuitively, right, you'll feel if something is off about them before the real date. Yeah. I do agree with that. But sometimes they are able. No, actually, I don't fully agree. Sometimes they're able to conceal it even for a solid 2-3 weeks, and then it comes out. Some some men are just, they're literally on another planet, and I just, yeah, they're on another planet. Chanel, first time catching you live. Yay, sending love from South Africa. Woo! South Africa. Thank you for being in here. Oh, almost missed my mouth. That is actually so good. Oh my god. The sad part is when the husband cheats and can't replace you and he becomes a clingy puppy. I mean, at the end of the day, lots of them, when they're cheating, they don't really care about the person they're cheating on. I mean, or probably both, on or with. It's just a means to an end, probably for most men. They have the ability to compartmentalize. You look stunning as per usual. Thank you so much, girl. Do you have any storytime experiences from the best versus worst dates that you've ever been on? And did you learn anything that you didn't know before? Okay, my best ever date was the guy who I ended up being in a relationship with, the one who works in Saudi and lives there. That was my best date ever. We literally spent the entire day together. So we were only supposed to be having it was a bottomless brunch. Super fun. I'd never done like a bottomless brunch date before. In a really nice venue. It was lovely. So that was fun. He was like, you know what? Is there anything you need? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, yeah. I could do with some help with X, Y, and Z. The next thing I know, he's transferring money into my account. We were at the bottomless brunch. I'm like, this guy, he knows what's really going on. He knows what's good for him. And then he's like, you know what? I don't want this date to end. Should we go to the theatre later? Do you like the theatre? I'm like, I love the theatre. So we were like looking at different shows, what still had like available tickets. The next thing we know, we're at a hotel, like a hotel cafe like area, and we're having like teas and we're doing like fun quizzes to get to know each other on a first date. It was his idea, that just to buy time before going to the theatre. Also he brought a bag for me that I had chosen. He brought that on our first date as well. So he greeted me with this bag. What's the girls doing these days? He was brownie points. Okay, he really knew what he was doing. And then we went to the theatre. We had a lovely time, and yeah. So we had a great time. He was let's just say this. He knew how to put on. Okay. He was not always that fun. I had a very difficult time when I was like in Saudi Arabia with him. The fun was a facade, but we did have a great first time, and he was very good to me, I'll be honest. He was very good to me financially. Okay, financially. But there were lots of areas that weren't very nice. Not that weren't very nice, but that just weren't the best. So, yeah. But I have not one full-on bad thing to really say about him, you know. Wish him the absolute best. Okay. So that was the best first date. The worst one. Okay. So I met up with this man. Does anybody know South Woodford? That's where I went. So it's giving South London. It's no, East London / Essex. That's where we went for our first date. Now, I mean, I wasn't too like, that didn't bother me too much. I mean, I grew up not that far from there. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, something different. We're not doing Mayfair. We're not doing what, you know, what the guys usually do for me. But whatever, it sounded like a cute little restaurant, right? Got my little Uber and I went down there. I met him. This man was literally wearing a short sleeve shirt. Okay. So I said to myself, this is not going to be what I want it to be. And who was, shout out to, is it Futa? Shout out to you saying about having a call before you actually meet someone when you've met them online. Okay, because then I would have heard like, okay, he's like that he's from Essex and blah blah. Like, not that it's terrible to be from Essex, let's be completely honest, but I would have been more like, I would have known that probably he wasn't a conservative person, okay? Which is what I'm used to dating, right? So I'm used to dating men who have like boarded or like, I don't know, just different, right? So I decided to meet him. Very down to earth, seemed really nice and sweet and whatever. So I met up with him, short sleeve shirt. That was the first thing I saw. He sounded very Essexy, fair enough, whatever. And literally the entire date, I think he probably smiled once, and it was at something that wasn't even funny. I remember thinking, why the am I here? I remember thinking that. But it girl, the food was nice. The food was nice. Yeah. He couldn't get over the fact that I was single. Okay, he kept on banging on about, I can't believe you're single. Are you sure you're not in a relationship? When was your last relationship? How long did that last? Why did it not work out? He was like obsessed with, like, I was actually thinking, are you a journalist? Like, why are you giving me the 21 flipping questions? So it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Let's just enjoy the food, and let's just enjoy the food. Basically, shh. But I didn't say sure, so I just said, look, let's just enjoy the food, you know, but whatever. And I did. I remember I had a lovely sea bass. The other worst date I had was, I did a story time on this actually, when I remember this guy's name, and his name was Frank. Okay, Frank, the pilot, or shall I say retired, because he was way too old to work anymore, and he had something entirely different on his profile. His profile said that he was a certain age, he was in his 50s. When I met up with this man, he was literally ready to 1 foot in the grave, essentially. Literally 1 foot in the grave. At the time, I thought maybe he was in his early 60s. Looking back now as somebody who has recently dated men in their early 60s, he must have been about 70. Like, honestly, he was about 70. And I looked like I was bought and paid for. Because of the age difference. It just looked very bizarre. Everybody was staring, and that was uncomfortable. Literally everybody and their mother was staring. Everyone. Everyone. So yeah, he must have been in his 70s. 70s. Why do I need to do that? I don't. I remember this in my story time. I said he looked like if the wind blew, he would be knocked over. And literally, he was so frail. I was linking his arm because I didn't know if he was going to like fall. Like it was. I was his carer. I was literally his carer. The only thing I didn't do was feed him that night, but I was his carer. Yeah, good old Frank. He wanted to see me the next day. He wanted to take me shopping. And I was like, Frank, no. I remember I was like, if you send me the money, I'll get my own stuff. But why am I going shopping with him? No. You remember Frank? This drink is called a rose lemonade. It's absolutely delicious. Yeah. I put lovely petals in there. He was I think that probably he actually needed a walking stick, but he just didn't want to bring it. Like, seriously. I can't believe that guy did that to me. He was not in his 50s. No. No, no, no. Where did you grow up, Ziva? How was your upbringing? I grew up in East London. My upbringing was, I mean, I would say some parts of it were very challenging and some parts of it were like not, you know. So my mum had, like, I don't want to put my mum's business out there either, so I have to be kind of careful, but my mum had a difficult time, let's just say, and it was very difficult in the house, okay, for a few years. For a lot of my childhood. Yeah. But I mean, I have my sisters. I'm very close to my sisters. Yeah. I'm trying, because for me, it's very interesting that I have obviously been on this earth for 34 years, but lots of my childhood I actually cannot remember. So yeah, it's very difficult for me to actually full on remember lots of it. I only remember some things. But I've always been the kind of person, I always found it kind of difficult to have friends, even when I was at school, even when I was younger. I think my childhood was a bit different in the sense that with like my whole dad situation and everything, not really having one, and you know, it was just a bit awkward. So I had that to deal with and whatever. So there was just most of my childhood memories, I'll be honest, are actually kind of negative, and they're the ones that I remember. The only good ones, or like some of the good ones, are I remember I had a birthday party for my 8th year on this planet, which was nice. I think that was the only party I had. Yeah. Always lovely Christmases with family. We do have quite a big family, which is nice. I was always very close with my nan when she was around. Yeah. I went to a girls' school. Yeah. What else? I was always obsessed with dance. I literally used to live, breathe, everything dance, 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 dance. Um, Singing. I used to love it so much. I wanted to be a pop star. Oh, that's cute. That's cute, Futa. I wish I could remember more of my childhood. I really do. Like sometimes, um, like if I, like my sister would be like, "Oh, remember this?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember it." But I'm the only one who has this issue. I cannot remember most of it. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but I literally can't. Uh, Even like at school, this is actually, oh, it's like the cutest little baby there. This is actually the craziest thing to say, but I remember at secondary school, I used to, because I've always been one of those people who I don't connect with, I find it difficult to connect with people. And literally, I would go through phases at school where I had a friend to hang out with, or sometimes I just didn't because I didn't want to hang around with them or whatever was going on. Because, like I mentioned, I had lots of stuff going on at home, right? So it really impacted me a lot. And I remember when I was at school, there was some days I was literally like in the bathroom, like at lunch breaks, just to get away from everyone. Like I wouldn't want to be around people all the time. Yeah. But I never really liked school very much, even when I was a lot younger, primary school. I never used to really like it. And yeah, I've never liked that situation. I've always found it difficult to make friends. And the saga continues. I've always been very strong headed. That saga continues. I heard forgetting some memories, maybe because of trauma. I'm so happy you grew to be this lovely adult. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I have heard that as well. I have heard that. But for me, I think I spent so many years doing the woe is me victim thing, feeling sad, feeling down, not feeling good about myself, making bad choices in the men I'm dating, allowing people to literally walk all over me, and relationships, not anybody else. And then I got to the point and I said to myself, no, I choose myself, regardless of anything that's maybe happened to me or any of that. No, no. And that was when I started my femininity. Well, no, I didn't start my femininity journey yet. That was when I came out of a relationship with this Portuguese guy who was driving me insane. Then I looked for my dad because I was in contact. I've kind of mentioned this before, but I looked for this man who I'd met him before, but never full on relationship properly. I got answers and did whatever, whatever. Okay. And I started to feel like, okay, I'm shedding some of that weight that I had on me, like dead weight. Then I started like wanting to pour into myself, and that's when I started my femininity journey. But I didn't know fully what I was doing. And it took a very long time for me to kind of get to be the woman that I am now. It's taken a lot of years, a lot of hard work, a lot of patience with myself, lots of pouring into myself, lots of like being literally looking at myself as a critic, but being a nice critic, but being honest with what I can change, how I can adapt, how I can be better, how I can be the woman I want to be, not just some fragile person or, what maybe somebody else, maybe would be like or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I had to dig very deep, and that is precisely what I did. And I'm glad I did. Yeah, but I really appreciate that. Something that really helped me was I was going to CBT. So if you don't know, that is cognitive behavioral therapy. And I didn't find it very helpful. I'll be honest. I did not find it helpful. But the one thing I took from that was helpful and that made a huge impact on me was he said you need to start writing down every day or thinking about 3 things that you are grateful for about yourself. And I had never said nice things to myself, never. And I started doing that I think I was 26, 27. And that was when I started doing that every day. I had to do it every night before I went to sleep, and I did it religiously. And that made such a big impact. It really boosted me, and it put me on the path to self-love, self-appreciation. Initially, it was very difficult to come up with anything that I liked, that I was grateful for about myself. I couldn't think of anything physical that I liked. And apart from my teeth, I used to like my teeth. That was it. And then came I'm grateful that my body works. I'm grateful for my eyesight. I'm grateful for to be able to walk. I'm grateful. It started off like that. Then it was, I'm grateful that I'm a good listener. I'm grateful that, this, that, and the other, that I love my sisters. I'm grateful. And it just started building and building and building. And that really helped me. That was the real catalyst. That was the real catalyst. So, yeah. Love this so much, and I appreciate your content, sis. I've been watching you since 2019, and I'm so glad you didn't stop. Aww. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you being in here. Yeah. It's been a journey. And this is why, like, when sometimes people are like saying to me, "Oh, you're this and that," like somebody recently, I did a video about this today. Why why is she doing this to me right now? I'm so glad you're making sure you're happy. Thank you. But this is why when some people say derogatory things like, "You're teaching women how to get money out of men." No, idiot. I'm teaching women how to stop being used. Okay, there's a big difference. I'm teaching women how to get men pouring into them instead of trying to literally drain the heck out of them. And that is the difference. The only people who are upset with what I speak about are ones who want to use you. They want to use you, and that's that. And they don't want you to know any of this stuff. They don't want you to start thinking outside the box. They don't want you to stop wanting more. They want you to, as soon as they bat their eyelids and they buy you a 2-course meal, they want you on your back. Well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if I didn't have that relationship with that Portuguese guy who was literally in my credit card, I also probably wouldn't have got here. That was also another promise I made to myself. I was like, you know what? I'm never going to be used ever again in my entire life. And I never have been. And I never will be. The only people who have a problem with like women aiming to meet men who have a brain, who have a good job, who are intelligent, who want to gift them things, who understand that they are a man and that you're a woman. The only people who have a problem with that are people who have a problem with themselves and their own relationships. So, clock that. Yeah, always give yourself compliments. I agree. Yeah, we've got to be patient with ourselves. Yeah, we have to be patient with ourselves. Because if you're not, who is going to be? You are literally with yourself constantly, and other people do come and go, whether it's family members or not. Wait, I feel like there's actually a question that I forgot to answer. I'll try to remember to do that next time. But I feel like you need to be your own best friend, because other people just come and go. They just do. Relationships, friends, family members. But you are the only person who's always around yourself. Why was it hard to find stuff you liked about yourself, Ziva? Okay, I'm in a therapy session now. Okay, it was muy difícil because it was very difficult because, hey Melissa, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. Hey. I appreciate you being in here, Melissa. Because I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't even like myself back then. Yeah, that's why it was very difficult. And to a certain extent, I don't know, I kind of felt like I didn't fully know. It's very difficult. I had a, it was a different time growing up, and especially, not to throw this into the mix, but also like, I would say my sexuality maybe even played a bit of a part, because it was like it was a it, I don't know, I felt like I had lots of things going on, baby. Okay, so I just found it very difficult, and yeah, that's why. But as soon as I started doing the work, then everything got better. Hi, Miss Pink and Black. Melissa, I had no idea you were from Nashville. Love that. When I hear of like the South, it makes me think of my daddy Alabama, mama Louisiana. Make a Texas Bama. You know when you can't sing all the words because you get copyrighted, you have to miss half of them out. I love my queen. Do you come to the States often? No, never. I used to, like, I've been there a few times when I was a child, but it's not really my vibe, I don't think. Maybe if I went as an adult, I might prefer it, but for me, I don't know. No. Maybe if I visited family, I would go, but I wouldn't go to America just because of America. If I went there, it would be only to visit my family who live there. I would rather go somewhere like, the West Indies or South America. I would rather go to, like, I don't know, Portugal. I love Portugal so much. I'd rather go around in Europe or do something like that than go to America for some reason. I'm just not. I know everybody seems to love America, but I just don't really have like a connection to it, I don't think. I feel like it's just kind of a bigger version of the UK. Hi Ziva, do you have any advice for a woman who is restarting her dating journey after a long break? Um, I would say do those compliments. Give yourself those 3 compliments every day where you have to say something nice to yourself. Also, look at yourself as a critic. Definitely look at yourself as a critic and make the changes you need to make, as in terms of like your physicalities, because you want to go back into your dating life feeling as confident as you possibly can. And you also need to have a slight air of entitlement to you, to the point where you know what you're like, you know what you will put up with, what you won't tolerate as well. Ziva, so wait, what else I want to say about this? I would also say know exactly what kind of guy you want to go for and don't budge on that at all. If there are certain morals that you want, don't budge on that at all. So that's what I would say. Know what you want and don't waver. Uh, Ziva, I remember you said you're considering working at an office again. Is this still something you're open to still? This is still something I'm open to, and I receive those emails all the time with like a job, what's it called? Like vacancies or whatever. So yeah, I am still open to that. I am still open to it. But I'm just not actually applying for anything. I'm like open to it, but I'm like, just fall in my lap. Uh, but yeah, I'm still open to it. I was thinking about that this morning actually, because I got an email and it was like a private equity firm, and I thought it would be really nice to get dressed up and go and work in this office. That's what I actually thought, and then I just get distracted and just do something else. I'm from Michigan. Wait, I don't know where Michigan is. I feel like it's Chicago or something, or near Chicago or something. Been in Nashville for 2 years. I plan to come your way soon. Woo! Come on, girl. Coming over to London, are you? Hopefully you come when the weather's nice. Um, Miss Pink and Black, where in America are you from? Me and you are going to make beautiful children together? Girl. Girl. Wait, what's this? I've lost interest in men completely. You couldn't pay me wait. You couldn't pay me to date these days. How is it that you're still interested in men's either? Does them contributing financially help with your interest? Um, Honestly, okay, so you're from St. Louis. Wait, is that pronounced St. Louis, right? That's how we say Louis here. I've heard people say St. Louis. So St. Louis, but spent a lot of time in Atlanta. Okay, so that's all the south, isn't it? Lovely. I've got my southern belles in here. It's giving Phaedra Parks. I love the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, it's actually been so good this season. Um, okay, so, but Potomac is my favorite. Wait, so what did Chanel say? What did you say, Chanel? Yeah, so why am I still interested in them? You know what? If I did not want to have a family, honestly, I would just be, I would just, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If I didn't want to have a family, honestly, right now, I don't know. I would be dating, as I would before, I would be dating men, I would be dating women as well. And I wouldn't really be thinking about, like, I wouldn't be taking anything seriously. That's what I would be doing. Yeah. But because of the family aspect, this is why she's still going. She's still going. I know it literally, I feel like we're having a chat over like a glass of wine. But I feel like if that was not the draw, I don't think I'd be fully doing this anymore. Like, I really don't. Like, she's tired. She is actually tired. I think it is draining, because you meet so many people, and there's always something strange about someone. There's always something that you're like, I can never see myself being with you, or I can never fully, like, there's always something. And fair enough, I know that the perfect situation is not out there, but there has to be a better one. And my hope keeps me going and wanting to have a family. But definitely, if I didn't want that, I wouldn't be doing it. That would be Louis. Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, because the way we speak here, I think it's because like it's like a French name, isn't it? We say Louis, so it's Louis over there. Okay, St. Louis. Do you like New York, LA, or LA? I don't like either of those places, to be honest. I'm not really like into like America like that. Uh, if I had to choose, I would probably go with LA. Probably. Are there more beaches? There are beaches there, right? And in New York, there can't be any beaches because it's like a city. So, yeah, I would probably just say LA, but I know nothing about it other than that it's hot. California? I sound very silly right now. I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry. I think New York is just a bigger version of London. So, yeah. How's everyone's dating life going? Does anyone have any dates coming up? Let me know. Tell us how you care for your hair, please. I have a hard time taking care of my hair without a stylist, as in my natural hair, because I took. I had an issue with my hair where I tried to dye my I tried to dye my hair honey blonde. Why did it come out orange? Okay, I literally tried several. So I think I tried 3 times. On my third time, she was orange, as in orange. And yeah. So my hair is having a lot, is going through a lot right now. So I bought one of those, like, I used a darkening shampoo and it's tamed it down a bit. So now my hair just looks like a really weird brown color. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I don't want to re-dye it again because I've dyed it so many times. I just want to give it a couple of months where I just let it breathe. So my natural hair is she's weird right now. Yeah. But I think you're speaking about wigs, right? I don't know. Well, this is a wig, and with a wig, you don't need any stylist or any styling. You just get your straighteners out, and you don't have to worry about anything. Brush and straighten, and that's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about heat damage. You just worry about the application. And I just put mine a little bit behind my hairline, just slightly behind it. And I have the sides out as well. Because when that wind blows, you're not catching me slipping. I tell you that right now. Oh. But I don't like if I'm out and somebody asks me about my wig. I hate that. The last woman who did that to me, I don't think I should have been a bit nicer, but I was just like, it's very unbecoming to ask somebody about a wig out in public. And she was very shocked I said that, but I do not like that at all. But on here it's a bit different. We can start a family. Wait for me, Ziva. You are going to drive me insane. Okay, stop putting... You know up there where it says 0? Make it not. And we'll talk. Thanks for answering questions. You're so sweet and you have a calming spirit. Thank you, Chanel. I appreciate you. Hey, Sonia. So I have to give you your flowers. It's because of you that I'm in the fancy places, enjoying myself, feeling beautiful and simply belonging here. Upgraded my men's standards, etc. Thank you so much. Good girl. Good girl. That's what you deserve. See, this is what I love to see. That is what I love to read. That is what I love to hear. Because why not? Why should you be going to dives? Why should you be dating idiot people who don't even know what they want for themselves, let alone for the women that they're dating? You know, why should you date people who are not on another level? And you pour more into yourself now. So you did the work. So well done you, and yeah, keep going, because it's literally a continual journey. And this is something that I've definitely realized. It doesn't stop, it just continues. The older you get, it varies. You have to adapt your style, you have to adapt certain things, you know, like your skin might change or this, that and the other. So there are always going to be things that you have to kind of tweak, and this is something that I'm realizing. Yeah, I mean, even me, like I was thinking, okay, I'm 34. Do I need to start thinking about some of the things I wear now? Like, is it giving, what's that thing called? Mutton dressed as lamb? Or like, what was it giving? So, I don't know. I feel like you have to start thinking. But, no, I think I can still wear what I want right now. Right now. So... Yay, Marie, I'm glad you're in here. It's okay to take a break from dating 30 to 60 days if you're tired. It is okay to take a break from dating. I've definitely done that before. And then sometimes when you're coming back in, you're like a bit rusty or something, but it doesn't take you long to get back on the saddle. If you feel like you need a break, then definitely take a break. But still be open that if you get an approach from someone and you think that they seem like maybe worthwhile, then be open to that. But definitely if you need a break, yeah, take it. That is rude. Like, she literally came up to me and she was just like... She was like... Hi, can you give me details about your hair or like about your wig or whatever? I was like, lady, yeah, she didn't like what I said, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get really told off by her. She was like an older, like Caribbean lady. I thought I was going to get in trouble. I was like, it's very unbecoming to come over and say that to me, lady. I will not do that again. It was a bit rude. I think I you know, sometimes you get people in like the wrong mood as well, the wrong time. Maybe she just got me, I don't know. But I will not do that again. That wasn't nice of me. Usually when people ask, I just will say, or I have a brunch date on Sunday with a new guy. Hey. Well, I hope you look very cute for your date, and I hope you have a fabulous time. Absolutely. Yeah, I hope you have a great time. How do you maintain your full glam in the summer heat? Any suggestions? Translucent powder. Don't rush around. For me, I don't sweat on my face. Okay. So this is actually a good thing. But you could do something like you know those sprays? You have like SPF sprays with a primer, and they're buildable, so you can just keep on spraying them throughout the day. You could get this to keep your makeup set. So even like today here, I think it's like 29-30 degrees. I don't have to worry about my makeup like fully moving. My makeup moves anyway because of my oily skin. So what I do is I use translucent powder and I top it up every few hours throughout the day. And that is what keeps my makeup on. He says, super chat, is it ready? Is Bean ready? Are you ready? That's the real question. Are you? Oh, my straw. For natural hair care, on my natural hair, every day I put water on my hair and conditioner. I use the Tresemme moisture conditioner, and I put that all over my hair, and I put my hair into a low bun, and that's what I do every day with my hair. So that's what's under my wig right now. Even if I'm at home, I'm not wearing a wig, that is how I do my hair. That's what I do. That is literally how I do it. I don't wash my hair with shampoo very often. I do it mainly with conditioner, so I'll actually wash my hair with conditioner. And I probably wash my hair with an actual shampoo every few months, but I wash my hair with conditioner. Yeah, I don't do anything special. My hair was growing like, not just like, I think my hair grows like a normal pace, but in terms of actually retaining length, I did that the most when I was just not troubling it. So that's what I'm doing now. Just a bun, and that's it. I don't do styles with my natural hair. The only thing I have done is like I've straightened my little edges, but even that, I don't do it every day, and I also do it on a very low heat. I live in DC and considering relocating to the UK. Anything I should know about the men? I understand the cheat codes for US men, but wanting to know about the UK ones, any red flags? I think some British men don't understand that they are men and that women are women and that women want to be women, because lots of women in the UK are like very career driven and they don't understand the concept anymore of like being with a woman who wants you to take care of things. So it can be more few and far between, let's just say that, who understand their purpose on this planet. Also, Brits are not as friendly and chatty. Okay, in the US, I know it's very easy to have a conversation. I've had so many, like, there are quite a few Americans in London, by the way, and especially in central London, who actually live here. Um, but Well, I say quite a few. There are quite a few. But you won't hear Americans every day, but unless they're like, obviously tourists. But anyway, I mean ones that actually live here. But I know that Americans are more friendly. They talk a lot more to strangers. Here, it's just not really like that. People try to avoid looking at people. People do not speak to others as much, so it's less likely for someone to come over. And I imagine in America it's a lot easier. And over here, British men are just more reserved. Like, everybody's more reserved. Yeah, everyone's more reserved. Coming from America and coming here, it might be harder to date because you will see that it's harder for people to bring themselves to have a conversation with a stranger. And it's because you don't know who's crazy. There are lots of crazy people here. It's really something. Skincare with, I don't know what that is. It controls oil and sebum on your face. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, not me needing to try that. Let me take a little screenshot. Single life is going great, but dating is slow. It's tough because I'm super selective. Met an older guy today who asked me if I like shopping. I think I may entertain this. It's a first. Yeah, I think he's probably married. If he's coming in on that kind of energy, like, do you like shopping? He wants to be seen out with you, hitting up a couple of shops, trying to rack up that money quickly, and yeah. But fair enough, if he wants to take you shopping, yeah, go. If he wants to go, like, you go shopping, sit down somewhere, have a nice spot, like, go to a nice spot, have something to eat, get up, do some more shopping, go home. That sounds like a good day to me. He might be married. Or he thinks, oh, you're out of his league, or you probably don't date as old as him. He needs to come with it. So I would definitely, shopping is like, it keeps me going. It excites me so much. It's a very difficult hobby to have because it's like, yeah. There's no way I would pass up going shopping unless it was with a person like that Frank, who was literally about to crumble into 1,000 pieces. I have a question. How can you tell a man is worthwhile or worth giving your number to when he approaches you while you're out? I don't think you can fully tell that yet, but some things that I would look at are things like what his presence is like and how respectful he seems, and also if he seems like a gentleman, okay? And also his dialect, how he speaks. I would be looking at all these things. When he comes up to you, is he looking around like some paranoid freak, or is he able to look you in the eye and have contact with you? So I would be looking at his body language, the way he speaks, and his energy generally. That's what I would be looking at. Yeah. Like, I had this guy the other day. He came over to me. He smiled at me. Okay. And I was like, by the time I realized what was happening, so I was like in my own world, I just smiled back. But it was like a very small smile that I gave him because it was like last minute and I was just, I don't know, I was literally in my own world. He came up to me and he was like, oh, hi, I thought we just had a moment just there. I think you smiled at me. And I said, no, you smiled at me. And I said, you know what? I gotta go. Let me tell you why. Because what is he talking about? The next thing you know, he's going to be saying that I approached him and, like, no. For me, yes, the energy, I can just get the ick very quickly, and that was just a silly conversation that we were having. The way he phrased it was like he was walking and I smiled at him and he was like trying to see what was going on. I'm like, girl, play the replay. Press the replay button. That didn't happen. Okay. And I'm 5'1". He must have been about 6'6". It was like, what is he gonna do with me? He's a bit too, like, I know lots of women like tall men, but that's way too big for me. That's way too tall. But of course, I mean, I wouldn't write someone off for it, but it's just like, I would even rather like 5'9". But I don't really care about height. But when they're too tall, it's just like, I hate giving out my number. Then literally. I seldom give my number out. I'm very selective with that, and you have to be. Because otherwise, you can't fully get rid of them. I've had people who have literally, I've blocked them, and then they will call or message on another number. So when someone has your number, they have your number. That is actually very stressful. I hate that. Even like sometimes I get like